Welcome everybody to the map Highrise. This is one of the maps where danger lurks in every corner. Quite literally. If you have vertigo, I apologize, but yes, you could fall off the edge and kill yourself depending on where you stand. So this is a dangerous map in that regard, and it's going to require a little bit of attention, particularly moving up and down along the edges, or if you want to try to be sneaky and drop from one floor to the next. Now, realistically, this map has a total of 5 levels. The first one being up there, the third level, the second level, the main level, and then 2 levels below with an elevator shaft in the middle that brings you all the way down. We're going to go over a few of the sneaky spots, and we'll start by covering this area first. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to start with the obvious. Up on the 3rd floor, this is probably the highest point aside from right there over on the crane tower. This is going to cover the entire basis of this area minus this area over here near the main stairs. Now the reason why this spot is so dangerous is because it's very dark. You have plenty of cover with these 2 items here, just simply the oxygen tank and this oil barrel. But you can also simply run back, get low, and you're a very hard shot to hit, and you'll get lost in the dark. Use some mobility to get around up here, get a couple of free shots. Just make sure that you are aware of where people are looking and move when need be. Also be wary of people coming up on your flank over here. But that being said, let's move to the next spot, which is actually right over there. Alright, sticking to the 3rd floor, we've got another area which is actually right underneath this drywall. Now this lean-to does a few things. 1, it provides you cover, and 2, it can also provide you some height. Now, you can't jump over the beam. That has been blocked because there's a little bit too much of an advantage, but realistically you don't need to go up there, and there's absolutely no cover up there. But if you need a better angle, you can come up here, but you won't see many people hopping up on the drywall. Now what you're going to see is people ducking below the drywall, going prone. Now this provides cover from incoming grenades if you so choose, plus you are in between not only this oil barrel but also this circuit box, so you got a tight narrow space here, and you got a lot of really good coverage on the back end here, and people coming up the scaffolding right over there. So be wary, use this spot, but be sure to get out if necessary. Watch for incoming grenades. Let's move to the next spot. Alright, now if you got good mobility, you can get over here. We were actually just right around this corner. That's where the lean-to drywall is. You can come up here to this spot. Yes, these planks are here for a specific reason. You can provide pretty good cover, especially during team-based game modes. From this position, not only can you cover this spot, but you can look through here, get a couple people down in this door, and cover this entire platform. There sometimes is a bomb site over there for search and destroy, and there's also a few hardpoint locations in this general area. So this is a really good scout location. However, it doesn't provide a lot of cover, so you got to be a quick shot. The most cover you get is about right here, and that's it. The rest of it, you're pretty exposed. But anyway, pretty decent spot. Be a quick shot and be able to get out when necessary. But let's move on to the next spot. Crazy enough, the next spot is actually right below the wooden planks that we were just at, and that's right here at this wall. This ladder goes up to the drywall lean-to. But what I really like about this spot is not only does it provide cover, but it's also like a really dark area. So you have this small cinder block wall with a really dark lit area. If you have the proper character model attached, then you're going to be in a pretty good position here. Of course, you could fire down into these general areas. This is really good for objective-based mode, so if you have a bomb site up here or even a hardpoint site, this is really good, catching people on the cross in their attempt to try to get to that point. So really good location, but of course you're going to have to be somewhat mobile from time to time. Good spot, give it a shot. Let's move on to the next one. Boy, folks, we barely even moved. Yes, we are right there at that wall, but this spot is a favorite. A lot of people sit here because it provides a lot of cover. It's really hard to shoot the person and even tag them with grenades. It's actually right here underneath this thing. I don't know what people call this. I'm not in construction, but it's obviously used to stand on, but that's neither here nor there. This is used for protection in this game. So what you're going to do is essentially come into the corner here. You can actually even go prone. This is going to make you very, very difficult to hit, especially people coming in. And as long as you're quick with your trigger finger, you're going to be able to tag people as they breach this entrance. Plus, you might be a headshot, but let's be honest, hitting this spot between all these bars and all these assets is going to be difficult. So try to utilize this spot mostly in team-based game modes, but if you are a camper, keep in mind, dark places, tight corners, it's your only friend. Let's get going. All right, we're actually going to run right back to the crane. The crane area is a really good location, particularly in team-based game modes. I wouldn't recommend this in free-for-all, or maybe not even team deathmatch, but what you could do is you could go prone, and yes, you can come somewhat get underneath the crane here, and you're going to want to sneak over into this corner. Fortunately, it is right next to the scaffolding, so you can catch people coming up that way, and you can catch people's feet on the cross, but you are limited in mobility, so use this with your discretion. On to the next one. All right, so we covered the top 3 floors. There's not much on the main floor to really discuss. There are some okay spots, but nothing really to write home about. We did cover the majority of the more popular locations that actually give you better cover and better vantage points. So now we're moving down one level, and there's one level right below us here as well. But we'll start off right here, and yeah, it looks like there's not a lot of opportunity here in particular, but what I will say is right here next to the stinky pots, the porta potties here, you could actually tuck yourself into the corner. You can go prone in a team-based objective game mode. This is perfect, especially when you have a hard point that spawns right here. People will try to drop down from this ledge right here. Even for search and destroy, there's a bomb site that typically spawns here. This is a prime location to catch them if they try to drop. If you have multiple teammates alive, they can give you some call outs and maybe cover you over here, so you don't have to peek out. But even if you are alone, this is a very good location to be sitting in, because even if they try to come around the corner and you're near impossible to see, you can be seen on a camera, but most people won't typically look here as long as you're sitting still. You can catch people coming out. You could also get a grenade around the corner if you so choose, if you hear them coming. So porta potties, the stinky pot, good spot. Just don't sniff it. Now another good location, particularly for holding, not necessarily for getting a lot of eliminations in TDM or free-for-all, is actually right here behind this insulation pile. Now this works best in team-based game modes because you got someone to cover you at the porta potties here, but you can also cover all the way down this hall. But it's not just this spot. If you have callouts, you know people are coming from that direction, you can also hide behind here. You can prop up and you can cover them this way. You're going to be no one's really going to expect to see you up at this level, so you have an advantage in that respect. But if you need really quick cover, you can also duck down and then just drop, so you can get a quick getaway. This is a really good spot for team-based game modes. I wouldn't recommend this in free-for-all or TDM. In fact, I wouldn't recommend most of these spots for free-for-all. TDM, it might be possible if you guys decide to hold a location, but not just this drywall pile, insulation pile, but you can also cover this wall, which gives you an angle all the way down there into this side area and all along this spot, this lower floor here. You can also get a decent angle from all the way across here and have some decent cover behind the cinder block. So insulation, porta potties to the insulation to this wall, pretty good area, but obviously it's quite open, so you're gonna have to have your head on a swivel. Let's move on to the next spot right over here. Now a lot of people don't actually use this location, but looping back and forth from this end to the next end is actually a very good idea. I've seen a couple people use this, but that's only if plenty of activity is happening down here. In other words, if you're playing TDM and there's a lot of activity in the lower area, you might want to control this back hall here. Now it sounds silly because you're like, well, Wolf, where are you? Like, you really don't have certain angles. Well, truthfully, if they're looking for you, they're going to be running around in this general location. So you can catch them as they come down the stairs. You can catch them as they cross up here. And if you need to provide support over here, obviously a lot of cover to watch your back. You can come to this doorway and get people in the cross as well over here, and there's stairs right over here that people are going to be coming down. So use this to your advantage. Obviously, free for all, it might be unsafe if people decide to come this direction, but ultimately this could prove to be a very good, advantageous location. Look, you even have a spot over at the scaffolding, so you can catch people here and you're the one who's in cover. So use this when you can. I would recommend peeking in here every once in a while. People are not inclined to check this spot, so you're pretty safe in this back hall. Anyway, let's move on to the next spot. All right, the next spot is actually one that isn't highly recommended necessarily unless you know you got teammates next to you, but it's this location here. Now, it's not on the base floor. I did forget to cover this one, but this spot in particular, you are behind this wall. It's right above these stairs, and right to the left over here was that hall that I was talking about. Why is this spot good? Well, you can catch people as they cross if you're a decent shot. You can catch people as they cross from one side to the other, but you also have a really good angle of the scaffolding in this long hall, while also receiving cover from this wall right here to your left, so you won't get caught in the crossfire. So this is a really dirty spot, especially because people aren't going to expect you here when they come down the scaffolding or even go from porta potties all the way across. So you are fairly safe here as long as no one calls you out and you got your teammates to support you. But ultimately, like, this can be a risky spot. As with any spots, I always recommend stay there for a brief period of time. Never stay in one place for too long. Get your butt moving, and yeah, give this a shot. Let me know how it goes in the comments below. All right, everybody, and that's going to be it for this map overview of Highrise. Hopefully some of these spots help you. Honestly, this is one of the maps which it looks like there's a lot of stuff in the way. It really has an open floor plan. So mobility is key on this map, but give some of these locations a shot. Let me know in the comments below whether or not you agree with these or if you have some yourself. There are some locations that are beneficial based on the game mode, but hopefully this is a good start for your trek to level 100 in double prestige. That's going to be it for me. Be sure to like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.